Coming to you live from the Cowboys headquarters in Frisco. Deep in the heart of Texas, it's the Star at Night.
Wow, dramatic much?
Why are you getting in the way of my intro?
You mean our intro? We're your hosts. I'm Kelsey Charles.
And I'm David Hellman.
Okay, let's just start this show now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Star at Night, Season 2, Episode 1. Wow, we upgraded? I put a question mark after that, our intro.
Excuse you.
Oh, well.
I'm not going to apologize for how stupid that was. I enjoyed every second of it. And I'm enjoying the heck out of not looking at you on a laptop, by the way.
I know. Like you in my other room, and I'm in the kitchen. That was actually what was happening last
We did the show from a kitchen last year.
Yeah, y'all are welcome for that content.
Suffice to say, we've upgraded it a little bit.
We have, and we are so pumped to be back with you guys for Season 2. Thank you all so much for tuning in. A lot has happened, though, since we last met, David. And we're going to go ahead and quickly catch you up to speed and break it down for you.
Okay, we're doing this rapid fire.
Right.
I know we did shows as recently as June, but it feels like everything has changed in just an insane amount of time. So if you've been in a coma or just not been paying attention since the last time the Cowboys played a football game, let's go. Producer Caden, help me out. Let's take you through the list of all of the changes we have seen from this Cowboys team. How about starting with the coaching staff? They turned half of it over 1 year into Mike McCarthy's tenure.
Thankfully.
Dan Quinn is in. You excited about Dan Quinn?
I am so excited about Dan Quinn. Swag Daddy Dan in the house.
Just because he wears Jordans or because he's a good coach?
Yeah, I kind of want a pair of Jordans now. It's fine.
We were talking about that before the show. Okay, absolutely entire defensive coaching staff. We're excited about them. Why are we excited? Because the cast of characters is all new. We've brought in plenty of free agents over the offseason. You think about Keanu Neal, who's playing linebacker now, if you didn't know that. Jaron Kearse makes the team. DeMonte Casey is your new free safety, wearing 18, by the way. Not sure how I feel about that. And Malik Hooker, first-round pick out of Indianapolis.
Couple familiar faces.
He's here as well. We've got like 18 safeties on this team. How about this, Kels? What was the biggest storyline facing this team when last season ended?
Signing our franchise quarterback.
Yeah, how about the $160 million quarterback?
How about it?
That's how much things have changed. That feels like a lifetime ago.
Remember when we'd laugh at that number like a couple years ago, and now we're like, that's a steal!
Yeah, he's already a bargain. Thank you, Josh Allen. Really appreciate that.
Kudos to you.
But just getting it out of the way as quickly as they did, I love that because it opened the door for so much more, including an 11-man draft class. Show me Micah Parsons. Show me the queen chess piece, if you will. He's a chess guy. Queens can move all over the board. You see what I'm doing there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then right in time for all of this influx of talent, 8 defensive draft picks. We've got the season opener. I feel like we've been talking about this dumb game.
I'm a little scared for it, I'm not going to lie. I know everyone else is like really excited, but not me, because that's going to be quite the tall task, taking on the Super Bowl defending champs and Tom Brady nonetheless.
You should be scared. All 22 of their starters are back off of a Super Bowl season. It's going to be a steep challenge, and guess what? The Cowboys knew it. The Cowboys knew it, and that's why they agreed to be on Hard Knocks, the reality TV show, by the way, the famous HBO show. Yeah, I mean, have I been watching? I've been having to write about it every Tuesday night. That just gets us to July. Like, literally all we did was just get to the summer.
That was only 4 weeks?
Yeah, that was only like up until a 6-week training camp. And what have we been talking about ever since? Oh, hey there, guys. Hey, Dak, coming off of the ankle surgery. Did you remember that he broke his ankle? Did you even remember that?
There was a lot of ankle talk on Twitter. It was a little creepy at times, but yes.
Now we got Lyle Collins. I think he's going to play against the Buccaneers, but injury with this offensive line is always going to be a problem. One stress after another. We can do this one quickly. They lost every preseason game. Do you care?
No.
Absolutely perfect answer. I love it. Okay. Oh, and by the way, the best player on the team, the Hall of Fame guard, he's probably down with COVID. Just in case you forgot that we're doing all of this during a pandemic. Did I miss anything?
No, but my goodness, I'm out of breath for you because what an off season.
You know what, though?
What?
It's over. The off season's over, everybody. It felt like an endless trial and tribulation to get here. They might not have Zach Martin for this game, but they're going to have you and they're going to have me and they're going to have y'all Football season's here. I don't think we've ever had a longer offseason in my life, but that's irrelevant now. Time to play the games. We will be right back to get into that matchup against the Buccaneers, by the way. Yeah, that didn't work very well. It's okay. I'll clean it up before we get back.
Right
Stay
back,
with us.
you guys.
Cowboys Star at Night is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T. And by Favor, the official on-demand food delivery partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage.
All right, David. So word on the street is
Call me David.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was a little weird for me
I didn't
too.
like that, yeah.
But word on the street is the Dallas Cowboys are opening the NFL season against Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay on Thursday. I have to get your thoughts on what a win would mean for this team. I'm pretty positive you're not picking them because you are who you are. But just go ahead and play along with me for a minute, if you will.
No, and I'm the first person to downplay it. I'd be like, well, it's one game out of 17. A win against this team would mean a ton. This is the reigning Super Bowl champs that return all 22 starters. They beat the crap out of the Chiefs last year. It's basically the same team. If the Cowboys can beat them, it means they can beat anyone in the league. It would be huge. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it would be huge.
Okay, so follow-up question then. Which side of the ball for the Cowboys has the most pressure on them to perform starting the season?
It's the defense. What did we spend all offseason talking about? What was so putrid last year? That's why they drafted Micah Parsons. That's why they drafted all those defenders. They're going against Brady, Gronk, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Like, I lose track of all the studs on that team. It's the defense.
I actually have to take the other side of the ball, if you will, because listen, losing your franchise quarterback, we all know this offense didn't perform up to snuff last season, or quite frankly, the season before that. So I really need them to just show up and truly play at the level that I know this unit can be. We talked so many times. How many times do we say we have the potential to have 3 1,000-yard receivers? Well, I am ready.
You want to see it?
Yes, give it to me.
Which, I mean, you're like, the offense is what's going to carry this team, but I have a little more faith in a unit with all those Pro Bowlers and all those All-Pros than the one on the other side of the ball. That's all I'm saying.
It's definitely going to be challenging. Again, we all know that the defense in Tampa Bay is too shabby, and you've said it multiple times already on this show. They have all their starters returning, which, again, for a Super Bowl team, that's terrifying, especially in light of how this team performed last year. But you know what? We are up for the challenge. Why not? Maybe we just have McCarthy break some watermelons or something. Is that what really it takes?
You just talked bad on me for picking against the Cowboys, so are you picking the Cowboys? You going to say that with your chest?
No.
Oh, so you're a coward.
But I'm telling you, if there's broken fruit, smashed fruit type of thing happening in the locker room, I might change my stance, but TBD.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there next week. Until then, we're starting our season out with a bang. We've got a very special guest, Cowboys VP of Player Personnel, Will McClay, joins us next.
This segment was brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back, everyone. Dave, we are kicking off season 2 with a bang, and we are bringing in the big dogs. No joke, we've got very own Will McClay joining us on today's show. I know.
I'm absolutely shocked to see him here.
VP of Player Personnel. Will, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. I'm only doing this because Kelsey invited me, not Dave.
Thank you.
What I would expect nothing less. Hey, I appreciate you, Kels, getting the big guns.
Honesty is the best policy. It was actually, we won't fill in everyone on the details, but this was part of the deal when I beat him years ago in Words of Friends. He owes me a bunch of favors, but that's neither here nor there.
You were determined to get that onto the show.
I just have to make sure, I can be petty where I can.
Okay.
So.
All right. I mean, we're joking around, but we can ask Will at least 1 or 2 serious football questions. Yeah. So, Will, I've been dying to ask you. You drafted 11 guys back in the spring. they all made the team, man. All 11 of them. That seems at least slightly unusual to have that many draft picks make the team. Two-parter, how impressed were you by that? And secondly, when you're making those decisions, do you kind of have to fight against maybe confirmation bias that, obviously you want these guys making the team, but are they the guys that should be making the team?
It was a collective decision when we drafted them. Part of the strategy was to draft guys that we felt could have an opportunity to make the team. All the guys, it was an extremely impressive rookie class when you talk about not only their athletic ability, but the way they approach the business. And that's how we feel like we build the team. Steven says it all the time about, drafting our own and seeing those guys come to fruition and building our team that way, as opposed to going out through free agency. So we're excited about them right now. And, it was a battle. It was a battle putting this roster together, but draft and develop is our strategy.
Now, you had an opinion about these guys when you drafted them. Who stands out to you, having been through 6 weeks of camp now? The games are here. Tell me something exciting about one of these guys.
Well, it's an easy first one is Micah Parsons. He's going to be all over the field. And when we drafted him, we were everybody knows we were looking at corner, but we wanted to improve the defense overall. And a guy that can do so many different things, and he's a ball of energy. And football's not new to him, so it'll be impressive to see him. I'm excited to see Quentin Bohanna, adding some size into our front and helping the run defense. And there's a lot of guys that I think in this rookie class that are going to contribute to this team in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Okay, so I have to ask you, obviously, we're talking about the team on the field, but your team personally has gone through a lot this past year in trying to do their jobs and overcoming hurdles. And we know that things are different nowadays, but how have you guys adjusted in having to work remotely, and how have things changed going into this season with hopefully what we're seeing is a little bit of let up in terms of COVID and how it's impacting your performance and what your team is trying to do?
Couldn't be prouder of the scouting staff, the college and pro scouting staff over the past 2 years. If you think about the previous draft, there was no combine, and that got cut off quickly. And then this past year, guys worked remotely. They weren't able to go to schools, so we had to do extra and dig for information on players. We spent that time digging on everyone, watching more tape. And I'm just very proud of the way that we attack that. And hopefully it'll show in the guys that we picked and in our team.
All right, so we're going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Can we have fun now?
Yeah, because this is what we do on this show, Will. You should expect this coming in here. Yeah, he knew this was coming, but he didn't. But we want to get your scouting report on a certain DB, if you will. We know, again, you mentioned DB has been an emphasis for this team, so I know you're familiar with watching a lot of these guys. It's a guy coming out of Rice, actually, number 1. I think his name is Will McClay. So can we get a scouting report for this man specifically and how you would evaluate his play?
Well, I know that back in 87, 88, whenever that was, he had swag before swag was invented. You look at the towel, the tape, all that stuff, and the number 1. If you look good, you play good. I played okay. I was slow, but I was smart.
Slow, but so, I mean, what was the talent level? Like, I mean, we were talking about Rice over the weekend just before the show. What was it like playing in that program back? I mean, I'm sure you had swag, but did it translate to the field?
Well, when I got recruited there in '85, we're talking about Dave. You probably weren't even born yet, but in '85 we were, it was Watson Brown. We were trained. We was a Southwest Conference, and Rice was going to win again, and we had a lot of talent there, and not as much talent as everybody else in the old Southwest Conference, and so we didn't fare too well. But in Rice, we said, that's all right. That's okay. You're going to work for us someday.
Hey.
I hear that a lot as an LSU grad, too.
He had to just get that one in there. Will McClay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time. We know you are very busy. So good luck to you this season. And I can't wait to also beat you again in Words with Friends, because we all know that I am going to try and do that just, bring it back for like a three-peat, I think.
Challenge accepted.
You're welcome.
We're going to bring Will back, too, so we can check in on all of this as well.
Yes. Will McClay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate your time.
Thank you guys very much. Enjoy it.
All right, y'all. Coming up next, will Zeke rush for over 100 yards? We asked you all to get involved. Find out what you had to say coming up next.
This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow, I didn't realize we had his handshake. I completely forgot about that. All right, guys. We are introducing a new segment for you all this season. It's called The Line. And we're actually asking for your input too. Every week we're going to be tweeting out weekly wagers from the Start Night account. Make sure you're following along.
Yeah, answer us.
Yeah,
Don't
please.
ignore us.
Reply to us.
We thrive on attention.
Love us, if you will. And we're going to get your thoughts on that. We're going to debate them, if you will. So, survey says type of thing. First up, though, of course, we're going to talk about Zeke. I got to know, Zeke rushing yards over or under 99.5.
I appreciate starting this segment off with something easy.
You're welcome.
There's no chance. There's not in this game.
How dare you?
Not in this game.
Speak of my king.
This defense, Devin White, Levante David, Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea. Oh, by the way, Zach Martin's not playing. Yeah, I'm taking under. Why? Tell me you feel differently. Go ahead.
Of course I don't.
No, arguing is good TV, right? So tell me that I'm wrong.
And I have to say, I don't think the fans feel differently either because they also voted under by a large margin. And we love you, Zeke, but just not this game.
It ain't the right matchup for you, big fella, but maybe next week.
All right. Well, under is the name of the game for that one. Coming up next, Tampa Bay points. 30.5 over under, David.
Over.
Oh, my goodness.
Over.
I just feel like you're depressing people by your picks.
This is a tough matchup. That's what happens when you play the reigning champs. They've scored 30 or more points over their last 5 games. That's what they do. They crush the Chiefs. They got Gronk. They got all these great receivers. They got Evans. Oh, and by the way, the GOAT is the one slinging the rock around. They're going to score more than 30.5. Please, again, tell me I'm wrong.
I actually, unfortunately, am agreeing with you once again. I don't like being on the same page as you. It just feels off for me. But I can tell you that the fans do not agree with us. They actually slightly leaning towards under.
What a vote of confidence in Swaggy Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, if that happens, I'll be celebrating. Even if the Cowboys lose, if they hold the Bucs under 30, that's a win.
That is a win.
That is a win.
That is a win.
I don't care if
would
it's a
cheers to
moral
that.
victory. That would be great.
Okay, well, we'll take that moral victory if it happens. I personally, this would be a moral victory for me because we all know I'm the special teams queen. So Cowboys trick plays over under 1.5.
I'm going to go under. I don't like now's not the time to break out John Fossil's bag of tricks. Kellen Moore has a few trick plays up his sleeve as well. There's one of them. The last thing that happened before Dak got hurt, unfortunately.
Okay.
I keep that in the bag for later in the season. It's a long year. I say under.
Well, you know what? I'm with the fans on this one. I'm going over because I need it. If I can't win this game, like you said earlier, I want some moral victories. So let's go, Bones.
Hey, if they run some trick plays, maybe it'll help them win. You never know.
Give the people what they want. Tom Brady can't study everything, so let's just pull out the bag of tricks and just throw something his way that he'll have no idea how to deal with. Is that even possible? I mean, we can try.
That's kind of my point, is like, why waste it on this situation when you could catch somebody more off guard than the best quarterback ever? I don't know. We'll see. It would be fun, though. Well, Kels, we've covered every single angle of this matchup. A lot of the names are the same, but the numbers have changed. We're going to tell you how we feel about this new look Cowboys roster coming up next.
Cowboys Star at Night was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Wrapping up our first show of the new season. Feels good to be back, though, right?
It does.
Yeah.
In studio, nonetheless.
Look at all the space we have. This is amazing.
Just so happy.
Kels, it gets buried under the major storylines, obviously, but one minor thing that I'm excited about is this is the regular season debut of the NFL's new number rule. Much was made of Jalen Smith switching to 9, Donovan Wilson's wearing 6. We got DeMonte Casey wearing 18.
It's a whole new look.
I'm excited about it. Remember who wasn't, though, back during the spring? Tom Brady seems to think this is going to be a major disruption. It's going to make for a lot of bad football.
Oh, no. Something to get in the way of Tom Brady performing well.
Oh, my God. Who will ever help him?
I mean, the refs.
I love the rule. I'm excited about it. Maybe it's going to make life more difficult for Tom Brady. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But a humble suggestion, NFL. Take a line from the NBA, maybe. The NBA, guys change their numbers and uniforms so often, they've got a buyback program.
Oh.
Wouldn't that come in handy?
I love that.
Then we can do whatever the hell we want to. We can get guys in the goofiest numbers we want. Maybe make life even more miserable on Tom Brady. Every little bit helps, man. Until then, we're going to be looking real fly in new numbers. I'm going to Tampa. You'll be watching. We're back, baby, and we're in studio. I'm excited, Kels. This is going to be a good year.
I'm just so excited, too. Guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy all this room for, like I said before, activities. Bye, guys.
Go, go, go. This beats the hell out of a laptop. That's all I'm saying.